What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Slap.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the f*** are you talking about?
What's up, people? It's your boy OGP. We got the Chuckster over there. We got the PY down there. Well, that's Jake doing this little turn the wheel action. Birds of a Feather week 1. Brought to you by Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating vacation your dreams at Disney, Universal, wherever your heart calls to you. Let their talented team of travel experts, Andy Ritz, and also Chucks. I'm going to give you his government name. Just call him Chucks. Mr. Chucks or Mr. Disney, whatever you want to call him. Let them create the custom vacation for you. And I forget what does Andy say on this ring. Wherever your heart calls to, he says some other showmanship, whatever. But if you want to save money, go through this channel. Alonzi Travel to hook you up. Fellas, how we feeling tonight?
Good. We're good. Football is back. It was fun to watch a whole mess of crap. There's so much slop week 1 of like teams just not knowing how to function offensively, at least. So it was fun to see that. But hey, other than that, it's been fun.
How was because you did get the Sunday ticket, right?
I did not get a Sunday ticket because I'm still in the area.
So
I have NFL Plus.
NFL Plus.
I have NFL
Plus.
Plus.
Who has Sunday ticket on YouTube? How is it? And they had it before on DirecTV. How is
I
it?
can ask my boys. I know my boy had signed up for it, or my cousin did too, because he moved to Ohio. So he had to get it. So I'll ask him, and I'll report back next week. But yeah, I haven't heard any. I haven't read any complaints or anything so far. So I guess so far so good with it.
All right. So I just came up with a nickname for PY just because the way he has his face in the screen. I'm gonna call him Pete the Jawline Young. How do you feel? How you feeling, PY?
All right.
Okay.
just all right.
All
Just all right.
He's 11.
Right.
Every
No
day
energy whatsoever.
Every day there's something wrong with me.
You're the Costanza of this show. That's what I'm let you know.
Oh man.
Jake, how we feeling?
Good. Eagles won. Wasn't pretty, but it's a win, so I can't complain. Phillies are trying to orchestrate a walk-off right now, so I'm kind of in between that and this right now. So
Yeah, I did see that they tied the game up, so I did.
Yeah.
See
Oh, they did?
yeah, Trey Turner.
Oh, nice.
So good.
See what happens when you're positive to your players, people?
Yeah.
I just want to laugh at that. Is that people were literally like cursing people out over trying to be like happy for a guy who clearly looked like he was having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Well, it worked out.
But so, man, we got some chats. So we got some people in the chat already. One of my boy Jason Pavlenko. That's my go-to guy for my bowling equipment. Go check him out, Pavlenko's Pro Shops. Just a little cheap plug. It is what it is. But there are some Eagles that go there. I have seen them, so they love the bowl as well. And poll question for tonight. We're going to get right into it, hot and heavy. The loss of Shane Steichen is going to have a bigger negative impact than we expected. Agree or disagree? That is the question. So I'm going to go with the person who brought the least amount of energy tonight so far on this show. Yes, sir. Yes, you up nice and pretty, boy. I'm coming to you. Camera's hot. PY, what do you say?
I say no. Like, I liked Steichen. I thought he was a really good play caller, and obviously he had a big impact on Justin Herbert as well when he was with the Chargers. But I don't like as much as he was important last year. I think it was just Hurts. Like, I know some people will take arguments about that, but every year he's played football, he's gotten better. He's improved. One way or another, he's improved facets of his game. Like, I understand that Brian Johnson was not impressive that first week. Hurts wasn't great either. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. And I just think, like, while it wasn't perfect, I think they just know each other so well, and they're going to be in the lab working on what's going to work and what's not going to work. Like the week one was sloppy all around. Like Joe Burrow had like 87 yards of offense as a quarterback, like which is insane. So Hurts, by that standard, had a pretty decent game. But Steichen was a really good coordinator. And I would have been fine with having him back, but I just think Brian Johnson is going to improve as a play caller. And I think what he knows about Jalen, just being around him his whole life, he kind of knows what works and what isn't going to work. And he's going to be able to work with Sirianni on that to get the offense back on track. So, no, I don't think it's going to have a bigger negative impact.
Okay. I'm going to go to Chuck's next because I feel like he may differ. May slightly differ. So what say you, Mr. Moranin?
I say I agree to the poll. Now, it's not going to it's I'm gonna say in terms of when the statement says impact than we expected, we as in like as a whole, as a fan base, I think for me, I kind of was always open to the fact that, hey, Brian Johnson's going to take a little bit of time to figure this out. He's never called plays before. So this is new to him. This is not something where every single offensive coordinator that comes in is going to hit it right off the bat in terms of play calling. Some people they do, some people they don't. I don't think people realize, and what I don't disagree to what PY said in terms of Hurts. I think this goes beyond Hurts. This doesn't have to do with Hurts' development. It has to do with how the offensive play calling and structures and the game flow of our approach in game goes. And I think what you saw in week one. Now, I'm not going to say that Brian Johnson is going to fail. Brian Johnson already is a failure compared to Shane Steichen. I'm merely saying week one so far, it shows that he has to learn. He's a work in progress. And it's going to take a few weeks, I think. Hopefully it doesn't take several, but it's going to take a little bit. And the difference is last year, if you guys remember, like, and if you really looked at it, and like, especially if you watch like the All 22 and you watch the tape, and you really dissect the play calling and the scheme and how the offensive play calling was flowed together in a sequence of a drive or whatnot. It was really, 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 really good. Like Steichen just has a feel for how to call a game. His play calling is excellent. And I think that kind of because the offense was so dominant and we had so many good players and they were all performing well, Shane Steichen's influence in that regard kind of took the back burner. But we need to realize that play calling and getting the right plays on the field and knowing how to sequence them is an art in itself. You know, like the McVays and the Kyle Shanahan's, like they're not just designing plays and that's what makes offense good. The way they sequence them, okay, the way they're able to dictate to defenses, hey, we're going to show you this, but it's really going to be a setup for down the line in the third quarter, the fourth quarter. That's just an example of how sequencing during a game really matters. And in week one against the Patriots, we really didn't see that. And it's something that Brian Johnson's going to have to learn to do. I have faith, and I'm willing to be patient with him, but I think that we have to realize that. And, you know, that's something that is going to be missed right now. I just hope, and I believe, but I just hope that Brian Johnson does figure it out sooner as opposed to later.
Okay. I'll go next. I'm going to save Jake for last, change it up a little bit. I agree, but I disagree. I agree in the short term, but long term over a 18-week season, obviously we play 17 with the bye week, I disagree. And the reason for that is just going back, I think somebody had put in our chat the stats of what the Pats had did week one and how many points were scored against them. Thank you, PY, to the jaw. Appreciate that. That's very, very, very noteworthy. But to score 25, and this is the thing, I kind of said this what worried me about this game was you give Belichick a whole year, essentially, to prepare. Not a whole year, but like the schedule comes out. It comes out in May, something like that, like March, like it was like close to 6 months ago, close to 4 or 5 months ago. You give him all this time to prepare, and then not even how he can set it up, but then also look at what he has, what's already on film, right? And probably knowing Belichick, he's going to go back to the Florida days to go see what Johnson's tendencies were there, his sequencing, as you talked about, right, Chucks, and how his flow is. But then also the construction of the team. Completely forgot Christian Gonzalez. That's where he went. He was physical. That's what he was drafted. He played well. Linebackers for the Pats played well. They took things away. So it was kind of a mixed 22 overall. I think we'll end up being okay once we find our flow, but also, like SJM says here, not as for his first comment, he says, "What up, fam? I disagree to the poll. Worries support Johnson's the 38 run calls like a big play, but some of the big play was Hurts not seeing a wide open Goddard twice, and that's going to take time." Here's the thing: I think what we saw from teams who somewhat played their starters in the preseason, those teams and those units were hitting and seemed like more in stride than others. Teams that did not barely play them, they struggled. The Pats play. Belichick's going to play his starters in the preseason. He's always done it. They play like they were a more well-oiled machine at that time. Ultimately, talent still rose to the top. Hence why we're sitting 1-0 and not 0-1. And we played, but theoretically, I give us a C+ in that game. Offensive, defensive, C+. So Steichen, definitely the sequencing and the play calling in game. I think we missed that short term, but like Chuck said, I don't think we miss it from the standpoint like Johnson can't do it or he's going to fail. It just may take some time, and you hope that during that time they can still continue to win games with their subpar performance of what we know they are. But also, we seen what the standard is for this team, right? We saw that last year. Belichick hit us in the mouth. He's one of the most creative defensive minds in the history of the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he made it difficult, right? So you compass all that together, and you get the product that you saw on the field, right? So I'm going to say long term I disagree, but through week one you would have to agree to the poll. But at the same time, ultimately looking at this as a full season, because we didn't put any preference on short term, long term, right? And once again, fam, in the chat, if you're just joining us, thank you for rocking with us. Click that like, click that subscribe, feed the algorithm. The loss of Shane Steichen is going to have a bigger negative impact than we expected. Agree or disagree? If you already haven't commented, let us know. We'll try to pop you up on the screen as much as possible. So I'm going to disagree to the poll long term. Jake, what say you?
Yeah, like you said, Pete. I mean, it's short term agree, sure. Like in the moment, yeah, but I think long term, it's really like just a combination of like a lot of things. Like you said, with Belichick having 6+ months to prepare for Jalen Hurts, and obviously the first team offense not even playing in the preseason, that's a big factor as well. And Sirianni made a point of that in his press conference, saying that maybe we should have played our guys like a series or something like that just to get their feel for it. But yeah, I mean, like we talked about in the group chat during the game, there were some tendencies from Hurts where he dropped his head early and started running and things like that. And Brian Johnson, he wasn't that great in his first game, but again, it's one game. And like you said again, Pete, it's one against one of the greatest defensive play callers in NFL history. So it's never the same. It's never the same defense week to week with the Patriots. So it's always something different. But
can't stand Atlanta. Just saying.
Oh, I know. I saw it. But yeah, I'm going to disagree right now. I mean, for what it's worth, on Thursday, it's a much quote unquote easier defense the offense is going against on Thursday. So compared to the Patriots defense. So right now I'm going to disagree. I think they get things rolling. I think it's going to be similar because Mr. Wing makes a point here. He says, why are we so focused on Hurts missing Goddard twice? It's 2 damn plays. We are panicking. Burrow, Allen, Herbert, not worried. This was a preseason game. Yeah, and that's the thing with week one. I say it every year. Just like it's kind of just preseason for the starters. You know what I mean? Like it's all slop. A lot of it's sloppy, unless you're the 49ers who just massacred the Steelers. They just, oh my goodness.
They were
But-
Steelers were sniffing themselves a bit too much this
it
season.
was
There's another team that was sniffing themselves a lot this off season.
Yeah, Philly Sports with Big says it's impossible for the OC to be on the hot seat after week 1.
No.
If we scored no points, maybe. But
this isn't 95 when we were averaging what, like 13, 14 points a game.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Give me like 3 more weeks, and if we're still struggling on offense, then I'll be concerned. But right now, in the long term, no, I'll disagree with the poll. Everyone's kind of still getting their feet wet, so I'm not worried.
I think the Lions game was far more alarming than this game, and that's just me. Because we were expecting, obviously, the offense kind of did its thing, but we let the Lions score 30.
Yeah, it was 30 something. It was 30 something.
I felt very nervous heading into the game against the Vikings last year. I don't feel that way this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we continue on, I got a couple. We got to pay some bills real quick. Go ahead. We're going to do Hats.com. In 2018, Eagles legend Brian Dawkins was inducted to Pro Football Hall of Fame. As you know, my favorite player of all time, the only Eagles jersey I currently own. That says a lot if you don't know anything about me and how I view jerseys and what name I put on my back. To commemorate this moment, B-Dog signed and launched an exclusive collaboration with Bowman Hat Company, America's oldest hat maker, on Hats.com, as you can see here. Brian's love of hats and the Eagles were a proud display in Canton, and now you can find yourself in the same iconic Hall of Fame fedora. Just go to Hats.com, search Brian Dawkins, and use the code Philly for 15% off your order. So Hats.com, 50%. 15%. Don't quote me at 15%. Also,
this sounds great.
He told me half off.
See, OGP from A2D said half off. First of all, that's not even the code. You got to say Philly. It's bigger than us. But also, check out RoyalBuilders.com. Check out Royals Bigger Recreation, the coolest place of all your game room and man cave needs. For the last 41 years, this family-owned business has been the premier game room store in the Delaware Valley, stocked with the very best of pool tables and accessories, shuffleboards, card tables, dart supplies, bars, and bar stools. I've broken a bar stool too. I'm not proud of that. But turn any ordinary room into an extraordinary gaming experience. Oh, did we mention that we have hot tubs too? It's about that time. The older you get, the colder you get outside. You need to feel good to get that recovery. Stop by Royal Billiards, located at 515 Bethlehem Pike in Colmar, Pennsylvania, or on the webs at royalbilliard.com for everything fun for your home or office. All right. So, Jake, what comments do we want to hit on right now?
This one kind of stood out to me from Mr. Wing. He says, second's offense with Anthony Richardson was the Jalen Hurts offense. We need to move away from that. Hurts is to stay upright long term. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I totally get it. But I think it's more of a situational kind of thing.
Here's the thing, with Mr. Wing's comment and I think it was Dynasty's comment, it goes beyond just the play designs we're running, guys. It's how you call the plays in sequence. This isn't you can't. It's not like going out playing Madden and then going ask Madden, give me a random play. There's a way that you can really sequence the flow of a play call to make sure you maximize the plays. I mean, we were really good at staying ahead of the chains last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's in large part because of play calling, because of calling the right plays in the right situations and the right downs and distances. So it's not just about okay, we have the RPOs, we have the QB draws, and you're doing this. It's about when are you calling those plays and in what situations. That was apparent that it was not the same in week 1 as it was last year. It was, telling you, after watching the tape, it was night and day in terms of why are we calling this here? Why are we calling this here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brian Daly from Hockey Happy Hour, they were just on earlier. You can check those guys out on Tuesdays starting at 7:30, right?
7:30 when the season starts. I think it's 8 to 8:30.
8. Okay, got it. Brian Daly says there's importance to getting guys looks and snaps in preseason. Doesn't have to be half or whatever, but a series or two to see the game speed. Yeah, and game speed's important for a lot of these guys, especially Jalen and all these other guys. I mean, Devontae and AJ didn't look like they missed a step, but they're two studs. So Tommy says you just want to get a win week 1. That's all that matters. Yeah, 100%. And Daly says, in reference to some of the games that were sloppy, the Cowboys versus the Giants game. Yeah, the Giants just the Giants stink.
My
They flat
Giants
out
buddy.
stink.
So my Giants buddy's on suicide watch right now.
Oh my God.
So he's in a dilemma. On the one hand, he's a friar and he wants to pray it away, and on the other hand, he knows it's going to be sad and painful.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll text me and he's like, "What do you think, man? What do you think?" I'm like, "I don't know. I think the same thing I thought the last 4 years with this."
Well, just think about it too. Like just a brutal 48 hours at MetLife. You have the Giants that just got blown out, and then
bittersweet.
Yeah, bittersweet.
The Jets did win.
The Jets did, yeah, that's true. Okay, bittersweet. And then you have Aaron Rodgers who goes
His
out
mom
for,
did it
after 4 plays, which is insane. And he might be done at 38, 39 years old. The torn Achilles. That's tough to come back.
I told you this is why you don't
injury,
sign
injury.
a 40-year-old quarterback to a massive deal like they
What
did.
what was his deal again? Just like hard, like estimated numbers. What was it? Anybody remember?
I know it was $75 million guaranteed. That I know. It was $75 million fully guaranteed. So $75 million for 4 snaps. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes,
I will
please.
say this though. Dare I say, even last year, through how many games we played last year? So all the regular season, all throughout the playoffs and the Super Bowl. I don't think we faced a mind defensively who had more time to prepare than Belichick. Yeah. He was the only one who looks like he made life difficult for Peyton in his prime. You know what I mean? So I don't think enough credit is going to what we've seen. And I think this Thursday, Flores is going to try to do that somewhat, but does not have the talent.
They don't have the personnel. Yeah.
They don't have the personnel to be able to execute. Still, and make it difficult. You're getting the Vikings in a bad spot to where they just lost a game that they probably shouldn't have lost.
Nope.
And now they definitely don't want to start the season down 0-2. You know what I mean? To the division leading either the Lions or the Packers. I don't know. Justin Fields did good for me in fantasy, but on the field, I don't know.
Not so much.
I don't know what they're doing. But
God,
you better hope. You better hope he's good. I swear to God, you better hope and pray, Chucks, that he's good.
Yeah.
He'll be good.
I hope he's good. I hope he's good. Not a good start, but I mean, he's showing that he's one of the most dynamic runners. But he's gotta still improve as a passer. But it's a long season. It's a long season.
You come to the King of the North.
So that'll lead us right into our week 1 recap. Our overall biggest struggles, biggest takeaways from week 1. Just solely focus on the Eagles for a little bit, and then we can go around. And then we'll double back. We can talk about anything else, and then we'll get into our first annual. What do you want to say?
I only do it one a year. That's it. That's all I get.
The first ever PY5 on Birds of a Feather, and he gets to choose. He has, I won't say he has complete autonomy, but he does have some free reign with the PY5. So, week 1 for the Eagles. I mean, it was a roller coaster, right?
Yes, it was.
We were looking like what San Fran did to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
That's where I thought this game was going. That's where I thought 16-0 within the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And then it's like it just completely fizzled out. Completely fizzled out to where you realized you were in a dogfight, and then kind of this status, just kind of treaded water to get to the end of the half. And then, I mean, for me, it was just the inconsistency, but I'm personally chalking that up to
preseason.
This is the first live action that our starters are seeing. And maybe, and even Nick said it, even Coach said it. He said, maybe I need to reevaluate that at some point, right? Maybe I need to reevaluate that from the standpoint of, okay, we can't do this, but at the same time, you don't know who you're going to play week 1 next year, right? Hopefully we all want them to be playing the season opener on that Thursday, right? the Thursday after Labor Day. That's where you want your team to be playing at, because if that is the case and it's a home game, right? You want it to be a home game. That means you did what you needed to do. We had a parade down Broad Street 8 months earlier, right?
Yeah.
So just the inconsistency. I said this before. The linebackers being gone, dude, and then the Kobe goes down. The middle of the field looks like it looks like it's 7-on-6 out there. Sometimes you're playing 7. I mean, just pick this apart. Now we all know Mac Jones hasn't had the greatest start to his career, but the one thing he could do at Bama is he can spin it. He can spin it. He can spin it on time and spin it to targets. I mean, Kendrick Bourne out there making Bradbury twice, Turnstile twice. And I think Bradbury has a concussion now, right?
Yep.
So he's questionable for Thursday, obviously. Most likely.
He's not
probably not.
Joby time.
For me, if I could take a theme away from this game on both sides of the ball, all 53, it's just inconsistent. 2 words: inconsistency and worry about our special teams.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our special
So I don't think special teams was
NL East on our field.
So I don't think it was awful. I thought Siposs did a solid job. Like he was averaging 50. Like I hate Siposs. I hate him. But I can't get mad at him. Covey was solid, and we made some pretty nice special teams tackles. Trust me, our special teams unit sucks.
Right.
And I hate Michael Clay, and I want him gone. And I've wanted him gone for so long. But they were solid week 1. I'm worried about the linebackers. I still think Kobe Dean can be good, but it's just it's not a good start. You're out 4 weeks. Cunningham is and it's all gonna depend, and your safety room is Justin Evans is not good. Sidney Brown needs to start. If he's not starting by week 4, we have a problem.
Taylor Barris says, "Bro, who pump fakes a punt?"
A stud, that too.
I was so annoyed. I'm like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "This is the guy we brought back. What are we doing?"
Yeah, Devin also says, "What game were you watching, Pete? How many timeouts did we burn? Because only 10 people went on special teams."
Once again, I didn't say they were good. I said they were solid. Not good.
But
I think we saw
what they can be.
I think we saw the same issues from last year were the same issues now. That's the thing. Nothing has changed. Obviously, we know Jake Elliott is great, but I think with Covey, I think he showed that he's the same as he was late last year, and it's not bad. He's
okay,
solid.
7 out of 10. That's what he is.
I wouldn't say 7. I'd say a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, just a 5.
It's not bad, not great.
He was a top 10 returner in the second half of last year.
Based off of what?
Most numbers that were put out.
I don't care about numbers. I need my eyes. All 4 of these some bitches could.
But
listen,
okay,
you saw how Monday Night Football ended, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that. And immediately,
here's my argument to that, though. If you need that, you're in trouble.
What? Xavier Gibson was an undrafted free agent, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Yeah, he was. He was undrafted. Yeah.
If you, like I said, if you make it a priority to get that, you can get that. Yes. But the Eagles, for some reason, didn't get that.
I would love to upgrade over Covey. Go get me Devin Duvernay. I know I'm saying his name wrong.
Yes.
I would love him. That'd be great. Go get me DeAndre Carter.
Can I get a Duvernay? Can I get Duvernay and cheese, please?
Duvernay and cheese. Well, in reality, Covey's really just holding Isaiah Hodgins' spot till next year. That's really what's the
fantastic.
I don't know, man. I feel like with the special teams, it doesn't really necessarily cost us games. The one game it did cost us was the biggest game of the year, is the Super Bowl, because of that punt return. But I just don't feel like we can create advantages, right, on special teams, and you see that happen sometimes. We just don't do that, and you don't have to invest in a lot of stock or a lot of resources, money wise, or even draft pick wise or draft capital to find it. And it's just how come we can't find a guy?
Yeah.
that can just do like a Turban or somebody like you know.
I
what
mean, we got a guy.
Is it Turban
They
or
just
Turban?
don't want to use him.
Who's that?
What do you mean, Mr. Olympic?
Oh, stop it!
Oh,
Well, I don't care.
we're
You know,
really
so
gonna
you
pump
see
him
him
up
return
now.
that punt
We're
in the
gonna pump him
preseason?
up now.
I'm
I don't
good.
give a shit. I don't care. Like, I'll risk it.
No,
You
I'm
know
saying-
what? I'll go like 60 yards. I'll be like,
I would-
all right, I'm good.
I
fellas,
would
let's
love
go.
PY. I would love for him to be the answer punt returner, but I'm not gonna go out and say he absolutely is the guy. Like,
Right.
No.
if he was absolutely the guy, he'd be the guy right now. Like,
Mhm.
he'd be starting over Covey. So
Yeah.
I like the wishful thinking, and
Right.
I'd love for him to be the guy, but you can't say that.
What's Usain Bolt doing right now?
It's not about the speed; it's about the
Yeah.
shiftiness and the vision.
Yeah.
I think
Knowing how
you
to
don't
set
have
up,
to be the
set up
fastest
blocks,
guy
yeah.
to return kicks or
Yeah.
punts.
Darren Sproles-
returning kicks is not even really a thing, so we're just going to say punts now because
Yeah.
that's more important because you
Yeah,
actually can
yeah,
return punts. But returning punts, you don't need to be the fastest guy, but your vision and your twitchiness
Yeah.
has to be on point.
Mhm.
And listen, you can run in a straight line fast. I'm pretty sure Devin Allen, Brittany Covey are fast in the straight line. But are you shifty? That's one of the knocks on Devin A-Chain. Fast as hell, ain't shifty. Hips is stiff.
Yep.
That's not what you need when you return the punts. I'm just saying. That's just my thought about it. It could be different.
Yeah, I mean, like with Devin Allen, he's just good at running straight.
Yes.
That's it. He's really good at running straight.
Yeah. Sprinter speed. Like,
Yeah, it's a
straight
different-
line,
Yeah, it's a
it's a different kind of thing.
different type of athleticism. That's just the
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
But
Don. Imagine being 0-1, can't relate, cough, cough, like.
I'm glad we don't have any Vikings fans.
So I was laughing earlier, Pete, when you're like, they probably, was it you or Jake who said the Vikings lost a game they probably should have won. I was laughing because it's just like, last year they lost. I mean, they won games they probably should have lost, like
Oh, yeah.
a million of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like, it's they're not gonna get that luck this year.
No.
This is them. But anyways, yeah, go ahead.
Don also says Devontae Smith was a great returner at Bama. Yeah, I'm not risking.
I'm not doing
You're not-
I'm
you're
not
not
putting
risking-
my number one right.
yeah.
I'm not. Listen, it's going to rub people the wrong way. I'm not putting my best wide receiver to return punts.
No, you're not
No.
wrong.
No.
You're not
If you're not going to use Zacchaeus as often as as you should,
Just
make
put
him
him
a
back
punt
there.
returner.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They
I
were
thought he was going to be.
literally like second or third on the depth chart in the summer. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did he even?
Well,
play,
on
did
the
he even play
unofficial depth chart, he was the punt returner.
7
But
snaps.
then they activated.
seven
Covey.
snaps? Okay, I didn't even know.
He
know
had the
that
same
they-
amount of snaps as Nolan Smith, and that's a fucking problem. That needs to
It's
change like
bad.
now.
Did Nolan only get 7?
Yes, he did.
I remember seeing him on Sunday. I didn't know it was that.
Well, I'm
I feel
not
like
gonna complain.
I feel like after the game is over, P-Wise is on his phone just data digging for
Oh,
every
100%.
stat that he can
Well,
find.
I listen to WIPOI and 97.5, and I'll go through like stats online, and just because I'm just curious what the hell happened in the game, you know? Because what I see is not what I see; it is what happened. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I can look at something and be like, "Oh man, why didn't so and so play a lot?" And I'll look at like, "Oh shit, they played more."
So,
than
what was everyone's panic meter in the fourth quarter? Let's go around with that. Scale
Well,
of
you
one-
saw what it was.
Yeah, in the group chat.
Yes.
So we had a New England fan in my bar, and I was 3 seconds. I was ready to throw my drink at him.
Well, I started before halftime. Chucks was trying to talk me off a cliff. I'm like, you got to put him away early. You got to put him away early. And Chucks is like, the defense is playing well. I'm like, yeah, but still, you got to put him away early. And then they just kept sticking around. We had 4 3-and-outs. It was just, my God, it was a mess.
When they called that AJ bobble,
Right.
an incomplete pass, I was just like, "Oh my
No,
god!"
I think
I mean,
I
it was
think
a
for me,
bobble.
It was.
I think for
Nah,
me,
it was the same thing as Corey Clement's catch in the Super Bowl. Okay,
It was a bobble.
not. Two
be
different things.
consistent.
Corey Clement's catch shouldn't have been a catch. I will say
Shut up!
that.
Shut up! You don't know
It shouldn't have
anything.
been a catch.
It shouldn't
It
have
shouldn't have
been.
been a catch.
Real quick
I
before
don't
you
know.
continue, I just want to do a quick shout out. Eileen Pompey, a resident A2D Patriots
Not bad,
fan.
man.
She took a break for a while. I'm glad to see you back. Hope everything is well. I remember
What's up, Eileen?
you said you were stepping back from a while for social media and everything. Hopefully everything is going on. Don, I saved you for a second. Ladies always go first here on this show, as they should. Chivalry is not dead at A2D. Welcome back, Don. He made his return Friday with me and Chrome, and he's been He's been present ever since. Hats off to your Lions. They better hold up because I actually have faith in them this year
I do too.
to a certain point. All right. So heavy is the head that wears the crown in the north. It sits on the what's the beyond the wall. The ice king. Y'all try to be the ice king.
Oh, I'm sorry, Don. The next franchise quarterback has already been crowned. Have fun for the next 20 years.
I did want to get to a few. There's several comments on this topic, so I wanted to.
I think I know where you're going. Hold on.
So there's. Hold on. I got it, Jake. So there's Mr. Wing says, "How did you guys feel about the penny scratch?"
Stupid.
There's also one.
I was looking at the Gainwell one. That's the one I was looking at.
The one here, Gainwell can't be a starter. Swift must be the RB1. No naked runs from Hurts, Swift RPO. Yes. And then there's another one from Truxler History. Gainwell ain't the guy. So it's kind of like just talking about the running back situation. Yeah, there's 26 running backs on this 26 running backs on this team, and we run Gainwell all day.
Not gonna work.
So, so just like I wanted to address that. So first of all, the penny scratch doesn't surprise me.
No,
it doesn't surprise me because I think you got to look at it from the standpoint of they obviously like Gainwell and Swift, right? So those two are obviously going to be active. They're going to be your main guys regardless. So then it comes between. They're not going to dress 4 running backs. They have it all last year. They're not going to do it this year. So it comes between Scott and Penny. Now, Scott contributes on special teams, and he's been on the team for several years now. He knows what he's doing. He's Mr. Reliable. If you need just someone who's reliable, he's there. Penny, on the other hand, he's only really a runner. So if that's going to be his contribution on offense, you kind of have to go with Boston Scott because if he's only going to be there as a runner, but you have already Gainwell and Swift, then you're not really gaining as much from activating Penny as you are from activating Scott. So I think that was obvious. Now, in terms of Gainwell's usage, I hate to say I told you guys so, but 18 touches.
Marcus, you still around?
Look who is on the injury report. With the rib injury.
Yep.
I will say this first. Gainwell played well. All right. People are going to look at his yards per carry after the first possession and say, "Oh, he didn't get much." I'll get to why later on, but essentially it's the offensive line. The run blocking wasn't there. So he was getting what was given to him. So Gainwell did what he could, and he was what we expect from Gainwell. That being said, Gainwell is what I've been saying. Like, he's a guy who's efficient. He doesn't get a lot of negative yards. He'll get what's given. However, he's not a dynamic or explosive runner. We see that. He's not – people – like Marcus was arguing before, like, oh, yeah, Gainwell is more explosive. He's not explosive. He's just not – like, he's quick. He's twitchy, but he's not explosive. He doesn't provide explosive plays. Eileen.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you. He doesn't provide explosive plays. He's an efficient dual threat type of running back. You can't get, and he's to add to that, as I've said a million times, he's not a featured guy. If you give him 15 to 20 touches a game, he's going to break down. You gave him 18 in week 1. He already has an injury. He's a compliment. That's important.
You're stupid. Gainwell have more snaps than Poetry Jam.
You have to realize that Gainwell is a complimentary guy. He has to work in tandem with someone. You keep doing this. You keep putting this workload on him. He's going to break down. He already is breaking down. I know it's week 1. It's a coincidence. You can chalk that up. But even if he didn't have this injury, my stance still stands. Like, you can't expect him with a guy of his size to go on 15 to 20 touches a game for a whole season. You need Gainwell late in the year. The Gainwell is too important in terms of what we do and how he is an efficient runner. You need him late in the season. I don't want to see him hurt and not the same late in the year when it matters. So you've got to work him in tandem with someone. So and Sirianni addressed it. Like, there's no way you can go exit a game with Swift only having two touches. What was it? He had a target. He dropped
one touch, two targets.
Really bad job. Yeah, he dropped a really bad one, so I'll give him that. But like, you have to. Swift might not have the vision that Gainwell does, but he's more explosive. You need them to complement each other. Okay, you need them to complement each other. When you are lacking, when you need an explosive play, you got to give it to Swift to give you that kind of explosiveness. So like I agree with some of the comments. Like Gainwell is not a featured back. He's a complementary guy that you need to have working tandem with Swift.
Mm-hmm. This is true, Don. This is
that's very true.
This is true.
83 turnovers the last few years. It's insane.
He's a high turnover guy.
It's him and Justin. They're saying since 2022. It's him and Justin Fields.
It's crazy that I think one of the struggles in the run game where you would think that the advantage was to us because the weather conditions, but New England's probably one of the biggest, probably has one of the fronts that we're going to see the most meat. You know what I mean? The most pause, the most man size pause again up front with the nose tackles and the run stuffers. So especially the linebackers again, it's the traditional. I think he plays a 3-4 still. If I'm not mistaken.
So. He mixes
motions defenders.
But it's just one thing. Like I want to give credit to New England, but I don't want to sound like I'm taking the blame completely off us. There's definitely things that we could have done better in week one, and it's just going to take. But the biggest thing is you won a game that you probably have played another 5 minutes or so, another possession that you may have lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when the clock hit 0, you were on the right side of the scoreboard. You take that and then you build off of it, right? And that's one thing. Now, obviously, we talk about Steichen in our poll question. Once again, if Steichen going to be a bigger loss this season, is his loss going to be a bigger impact? Agree or disagree? Just let us know. And even if you listen to this on wherever you can catch your podcast, if you catch it on the replay, still chime in with the comments. We still see them. We check up on them. But in all seriousness, it's like with that, we know Steichen is probably a loss. We're feeling that loss in game, right? But now Monday through Thursday, now this week, Monday through Wednesday on a short week, how do we build upon that, right? So I feel confident in that. Let's put a button on week one for the Eagles. Offensive struggles. Just go around. Let's just give them a grade for what you saw, and then we'll dive into week one recap. What would you get a grade? What would you get a grade for the Eagles week one, Chucks? Overall.
Well, what I will say before I give a grade is, after watching the tape, I think it was pretty apparent to me where the struggle started, and it seems to be like a very obvious statement you can say, but it really isn't because knowing our offensive line. But the struggle started with the offensive line.
Yep.
The offensive line had uncharacteristically bad performance. As a whole. And the reason why it's significant with our offense is because and we've talked about this even since last year, when it comes to pass concepts, we're not the most creative when it comes to pass designs and pass concepts. We're not like an Andy Reid who's going to motion a million people pre-snap and then confuse defenders and create space. We're not like a Sean Payton. We're not like a Sean McVay. You know what I mean? Like that's not our passing game design. That's not in our playbook. Our concepts are simple. Why do we win in the pass game? Because one, we have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert who are better and just more talented than most people that could be on the field. So they win with skill. And two, it's because we're able to create space another way. What is that way? Is because we dominate in the run game. We force defenses to have to come up and commit more to the run. And when they don't, we just keep running it. How many times we see it last year, guys? Like when they can't stop us on the run, we're just going to run it straight down the field. And we did that over and over last year. That's our bread and butter. We are a dominant run game team. That's how we win. Our offense piggybacks off of that. But when you're not able to do that, that's when you see what the Patriots did. They played back. They played zones. They had eyes on the quarterback, so they were always there, and they took away the deep ball. Yeah. And there was nowhere, and this is part of what I'm talking about with Brian Johnson's play calling, is like for the first half, so many routes were just deep routes. People just going deep. And I'm like, there's no one open. Like, what is he trying to do? Yeah. And they're able to do that because when we call a run play, we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting any push at the line of scrimmage. And therefore, there's no need for the Patriots defenders, second-level defenders and secondary to come up and run support. They can just stay in their zones. So that's why we didn't have space, is because we're not dominating in the run game. That has to change. I fully expect it to change. There's no way this performance with the offensive line is going to be repeated. This is uncharacteristically, they're going to be fine, but that's where it starts. Everything was a domino effect from that. And as I watched the film, I was even more confident of that. So once that gets going, I have faith that it's going to get better. We're going to be fine. In terms of a grade for this performance for the offense, I'm going to give them a D. I think that one touchdown and just even when in the second half when we were slowly getting those drives together to get in the field goal range, it still didn't look natural or comfortable. It didn't look like it looked like we were. It looked like we were trying our hardest to get just minimal yards, and that's not the offense we're used to. So I give them a D. I think that it was if it wasn't for the first quarter, they'd probably get an F. But I have to factor that in somewhere, so I give them a D.
Okay. Real quick, Bill has a question for you, Chucks. He says, if they took the deep ball away, which I agree with, then why did they not hit Dallas Goedert? He was wide open several times. Because
Hurts just didn't see him. He predetermined reads. So the few reps, it was a few times that, Goedert was open, but the one of them was an RPO, and people want to, if you remember, he was on top of the screen, and he pretty much ran a go route. He was wide open. Mm-hmm. However, it was a 3rd and short, and they handed the ball off to Gainwell.
I think so.
I can't blame him. I can't blame Hurts for that because you're in 3rd and short. You're making a read. You're making a read to either give the ball off or keep it. If your read on 3rd and short is to give the ball off to the running back because of a key defender is playing some way, then you're going to give the ball off to running back. You're not going to automatically read the defender, but also see that Goddard's wide open and be like, okay, I'm going to pull it. No, you're reading the defender and then going from there. And it's 3rd and short. That one I don't blame. But the other ones that Romo already highlighted, did a great job of highlighting. Yeah, Hurts just didn't see him. He predetermined his throw to AJ, and then the one that he did throw to Goddard, he should have thrown to Devontae. Yeah. So it's Hurts had a bad game too. It was probably the worst game he had since the playoff loss to the Bucs. He just didn't. He looked uncomfortable, late to pull the trigger on so many throws. But again, it's what did you guys say? It was like a preseason game, so it was. I'm sure it was rust.
PY, your grade?
C minus. The offense wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. They were just rusty. The O-line didn't play well. Hurts was a little off with his deep balls. Obviously, missing Goddard's not good. I thought the defense played their best out of everyone. I saw people complaining about them. Obviously, you don't want them giving up the middle of the field, but the safeties are sus. The linebackers are sus, but
you just said you clamored for Sidney Brown. The White Ed Reed Blankenship did all right.
Yeah, he did do okay.
Yeah, I said he did all right. Justin Evans did not.
Hey, I don't even know he related to me, but I don't want that type of connotation.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't want him either. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no.
But no, the D line was chef's kiss, man. That was all. They were all over the place. Jalen Carter. By me saying this, they've actually given him an additional pressure. Since the game ended, he ended with 6, and since then they've given him 4 additional pressures.
He should have had he should have actually had 2 sacks on Sunday, but
I don't know how. So how come they award Jordan Davis with a sack? He had a strip sack.
It wasn't it was he stripped Zeke. That's what it was. He stripped Zeke.
Yeah, but it's good to see the young guys contributing. So, I'm assuming you're leading what? C plus, B minus overall. No grade, or just
no grade.
Well, I said C plus.
Oh, okay.
Or C minus. I said C minus.
Did I give my overall grade? Because
You
I
gave
gave
a grade for the offense. You gave a D. You didn't say anything for the defense.
Oh, defense. Sorry, real quick. Defense, I'll give them a B. So
Okay.
altogether, like yeah.
Okay.
Martian, this is trying to be a family show. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
She's a nice lady. She's a nice lady.
She has a lot of different jobs. She can play a lot of different roles.
Mm-hmm.
Jake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the defense they definitely came up big at the end. I'll give them that. The offense, yeah, like Chuck said, they were inconsistent. They were good early, then they kind of sputtered off. But overall, I'll give them a C minus.
Okay. I'm kind of right like that. I said C minus, solid C, maybe at the highest. B minus if you're graded on a curve, an extreme curve, but it's a win. That's like I said in the National Football League. If you can win, with your subpar game against a coach like that in that type of condition, tough place to play week 1. You know what I mean? That's a good hats off to you. Hats off to you. Real quick, before we get into the other week 1 recap around the league and we get into PY's 5, we got to pay a little bill real quick. So enjoy this ad.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
Make sure if you're in the Bethlehem Pike and Colmar area, make sure you check out Royal Billiards. Who doesn't love a man cave?
Yep.
Yes, PY.
If I buy something there, do I get a cool ponytail too?
Sure.
Maybe. And you get the blue skelly too. Can you even shoot pool? Do you know how to hold a stick?
I have a pool table in my basement.
Not one of those miniature ones you buy.
No, like an actual one.
Like a regulation one.
Yes.
I keep receipts just like Dion, yo. I wish I had Shador's
Dion doesn't keep receipts. He keeps made up ones.
I love billiards. I'm no pro at billiards, but
it's fun.
I used to play it like
you mean pool
multiple times a week with my friend like years ago. We used to go to the pool hall like 2 or 3 times a week. So I'm no pro. I'm not great at it. Yeah. I know what I'm doing. Let's say that.
So the white ball hits the other balls in and leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
That star and black ball you can't trust.
Full of jokes tonight. Biggest game of the week. I think most entertaining game of the week. We'll probably all agree was. I'll give you. So we'll do most entertaining game to you. The biggest shock, and then the game that you felt validated on. So most entertaining game for me was obviously the Miami and the Chargers game.
That's a good one.
Biggest shock, probably was
Cowboys.
No.
Really?
I would say Cleveland and Cleveland over Cincinnati.
They own Joe.
My validated win happened Thursday night. I feel validated because I've been preaching the Lions all off season.
I'm with you.
All off season, and I feel validated so far. But that's just me. What say you? Anybody can go. Free for
all. Most enjoyable. Just to go a little different, I'll say the Colts and Jaguars game. That was
really good.
That was a great.
Anthony Richardson is going to be so good.
Yeah. Most validated. Yeah, I'm with you, Pete, on the Lions on that one. Biggest surprise. I'd have to go honestly the Dallas and Giants game. Like at least like I thought it would be competitive, but the Giants just like I felt like I was watching a funeral watching the Giants game.
I thought I was watching Bishop Sycamore.
Like it just wasn't good.
I turned it off at halftime.
So did I. I'm going to bed.
The Cowboys.
I'm going to bed. What am I doing?
I feel like I did the same thing last year. I feel like I did the same thing last year when it was Cowboys Giants. Yep. I feel like it was like over at halftime. And I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Dude, that was so bad. I thought Joe Burrow thought he was at Ohio State.
Yeah, like if I'm a Giants fan, I feel like my season's already over.
It is.
Did you guys see Brandon Jacobs' tweet?
No.
He was like rambling off or something like, "Yeah, we got blown out. Like they beat us, but they didn't dominate us." And I'm like,
yes, they did.
What is? Because he was showing the offensive stats, and he was like, they only like had 200 something yards of total offense.
I mean, Dak didn't do anything, but he didn't need to.
But he didn't need to. That's the thing.
The Cowboys had their way with the Giants, and then they went upstairs and did their mom. Like it's like that's how bad they got screwed. Like get the hell out of here. Like you got 40-0 on national television.
Oh my
prime
God.
Time. How many prime time games they got?
But I think some of them can be flexed. They have a few, but I think they
you know who has a lot? The Jets have a lot.
6.
I think they can be flexed.
Yeah,
it's going to be the Zach Wilson revenge tour, baby.
Oh, no, it is not. I know who it's gonna be.
You mean the MILF Hunter revenge tour?
Oh, no, it's not gonna be him.
Right.
The deer hunter.
Go. So PY, what was your biggest? Go ahead. What's your biggest shock? Validation.
Joe Burrow forgot to play football. He forgot how to play football.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The biggest validation is for months you've been dissing me and making fun of me, but you know what? You didn't believe in Tua enough. I believed in enough for the all four of us to believe in Tua.
He is right.
Not only did I believe in Tua, I believe they're the number one offense. And they spanked that ass.
Tua did look really good, I will say.
He did. It's MVP season because we got to believe in Tua.
He looked really good. And by the way,
no one said Tua isn't great though.
What you did? You're not. No. You don't get to change your tune, sir. You did not believe in Tua.
PY, I'm saying you're right. I'm just validating. I'm validating. No one said Tua sucks. Like I think we all agree. Like Tua is good quarterback, but like week 1. You can pat yourself on the back because they look dominant. Like he looked amazing. So I'm giving you your flowers. That was definitely. And it's not like I hate seeing it. I said it like when we did our prediction show. I want the Dolphins to freaking win that division. You know what I mean? I want them to be a contender. So I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Chucks, for you. Biggest shock.
Well, definitely. Well, biggest shock was actually that game. The biggest shock to me was the Rams over the Seahawks. The Seahawks offensive line got manhandled by Aaron Donald and that pass rush.
They needed
that was essentially they need Jason Peters. That was essentially the game. Like I was watching it, and the Seahawks were playing well up into the second half. And then the wheels kind of just came off, and like the Seahawks pass rush wasn't getting home, and Stafford, obviously we know Stafford. We all agree like Stafford is one of the best QBs in the league. He was able to dissect that defense when he has no pass rush on him. And Puka Nacua, oh my God, he's already I'd say top 5 in terms of.
I thought you were
NFL
names or something. I don't know what the heck you
top NFL names in the league. Puka Nacua.
I was not sure how to pronounce it, but now I know how to say
Puka
it.
Nacua, yeah. Puka Nacua is absolutely top 5 name in the NFL.
Is he a rookie?
Great. Yes, he's a rookie.
Wow, yeah,
he's
he was
rookie.
Really good.
So
he was
really, really good. I really like him a lot. So hats off to the Rams. They played their butt off. I still think they're going to finish 3rd. So I'm not backing down off of them.
Matata plays great. He was all over the field. Who could say that there were no worries with him on the field?
That is right, everyone.
Probably for the rest of our days.
So that was my biggest. So what were the other two big most entertaining?
Biggest. So that was you gave us the biggest shock and surprise.
Most validating.
Most validated that you feel week one, and then the most entertaining game that you had.
Most entertaining, I'm going to say the Chargers Dolphins game.
Go Chargers.
And then the most validating one, and it's not like this was the most impressive, but probably the most validating was the Panthers Falcons. Like the Falcons look good. Like I'm not saying Ritter had a great game, but again, that running game, and they didn't even gave Al-Jair like most of the touches for some weird reason, whatever.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
again, their running attack looked dominant once again. Bijan Robinson, ladies
Pretty
and gentlemen,
good.
I think
good.
all four of us can pat ourselves on the back because we all said Bijan Robinson is going to be the guy. He is going to be him. He is insane, and he's
get like 12 touchdowns this year.
He's gonna wreck it. His first touchdown. Did you guys see that pass in the flat? Oh my god! Yeah. Oh, that's sick. So he looked amazing. The only thing for the Falcons is like, come on, like let's get freaking Kyle Pitts and freaking Drake London involved, please. Like let's come on.
I will gladly take Kyle Pitts.
Please.
So yeah, if they're use them, I'll gladly.
If they're not going to use them, we'll take them. But that was probably my validating game of this week.
Okay.
All right.
If not that, the Vikings game, because of the reasons I said before, because the Vikings are freaking frauds, and I was laughing. You guys remember in the chat, I was laughing the whole game when I was seeing that score of the Vikings against the Bucks.
Yeah.
So before we move on to PY's 5, hit a couple more chats, a couple more comments in the chat, but just want to say this. It's just a thought of concern. And this words of wisdom. J.K. Dobbins, brother, I don't know what's going on with your lower half.
Poor guy.
Yeah, man.
I feel for you.
Yeah.
Achilles now. I will see. Was it ACL last year?
And now it's an Achilles.
Now it's Achilles this year. And then PY talked about it earlier. Man, Achilles is something to go. That's the last thing I thought that happened last night when I looked at Aaron Rodgers go down. But some may say that's a comeuppance. Some may say that's a comeuppance because of how you handled yourself in a room with no windows or light, and you know what I mean.
Just ask Deshaun Kaiser. I just want to throw that out there. I don't wish injury on anyone, but Mr. Denier on 9/11 coming out there with the American flag, being his phony self, and then tearing his Achilles.
Well, did you see the what do you call it? Did you see the zoomed in thing of his calf? Rodgers' calf? You can see it like recoiled, like his calf recoiled.
The devil kicking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it happens, it's almost like you can see it, like it's like a rubber band snapping.
Yeah, it's
I mean. And at 39 years old, any injury is just it's harder. It's hard to get the gumption just to come back and fight through that.
Yeah,
especially ACL 38, 39, right?
39, 40 in December.
Yeah, hang it up.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Chucks?
Yeah, for JK Dobbs, I just remembered. Sorry, I was backtracking. JK's ACL injury was actually 2 years ago. He tore his ACL 2 years ago. Last year, he came back too early. There was still issues with the ACL. He had to get a second surgery on it. Oof. He missed a few weeks, came back. He still wasn't 100%. Finally 100% again this year, and then he gets Achilles. So, it's one after the other. Or technically 3 injuries he sustained.
Yeah. And we've come like such a far way with like ACLs, repair and stuff like that. Now guys come back in 6 months from ACLs, but Achilles are still.
Achilles is different. Yeah, Achilles.
Yeah, Achilles is not. I know people, they rather tear their ACL than tear their Achilles.
Yeah.
When you tear your Achilles, it's just like you're done.
You have a flat tire. Literally. You have a flat tire.
Like you just pushing off of something that's just not there.
You can't do it.
So Bill asks us a question here. Would you trade a back to the Ravens and sign Hunt? I would really like Hunt on this team. Just sign Hunt and release somebody.
Yeah.
Who is he starting over? That's my question. Who is like
we have 5 million
running backs. Yeah, I don't know, but like
The
from
only way
everything
he's-
like I've heard, it sounds like they all said Hunt lost a step. So I don't know. He's still
I
out
said
there.
that.
So
Yeah, I said that. He did lose that. There's one of my favorite running backs. I will admit. If I say he's lost a step, he's lost a step.
Yeah.
Greg, come on. Greg, see, this is what annoys me.
Just going. That's such a Greg
coaches
answer, though.
come and go all the time. This is
Greg
from the
answer.
guy. This is from the guy who complained all the time about Doug Peterson, and you're gonna say, no, coaches come. It's not a big deal.
It's typical Greg though. Like,
That's the most Greg answer of all.
I don't know. We'll see how long Doug stays there with Press Taylor.
I mean, they put up what 31.
Yeah, they look good.
They were down too. They were down what 17-14 or something like that. 21-17.
Yeah, they were down a good margin.
I think people are making a little bit too much of a big deal about the Press Taylor thing. I don't think it's that.
Are we?
That huge of a deal. I don't think it's that huge of a deal.
Are we?
Yeah.
It's Doug Peterson's offense. It's
Doug's
Press
making the
Taylor.
calls,
I
so.
think if you remember, Honest NFL Twitter account, he posted something about explaining the impact of Press Taylor, what it means, and he was saying like it's the effect is really not going to be. You're not going to notice anything. So
He's Doug's kid. I don't care what anyone said. Like, it's the only reason like Doug is willing to like go to bat for this kid this hard.
Well, we'll see after week 18 if the Jaguars won the division or in like one of the top contending teams, then we'll know that it really didn't matter. So,
Mr. Wing says, looks like even if Ridley came to Philadelphia, it would have worked out.
Yes.
Heck, I would have traded for him last year.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley's pretty good.
Imagine Ridley is your 3 right now.
3.
Yeah, he'd be your 3.
He'd be probably your 2.
Over Devontae? I don't know, man.
I was gonna say over AJ, but you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah.
Whoa!
You did not.
I love me some Arthur James, but dog, you ask them out of all the Bama receivers who they respect more when it comes to who came through there. Ridley's right behind Julio. Like those, the route running, second to none, bro.
And
it's not just the route running. It's his body control and ball skills are like, guys, he doesn't drop a ball. Like the ability to play the ball in the air and keep his body in bounds and to be able to control it in midair. Like I still remember the loss to the Cowboys that game when we were driving that last drive, there was one in breaking route that Devontae caught where Minshew's ball was high and behind him. And Devontae's running full speed the other way, stops and turns around and towards his body. But like, to a casual fan, that looks just like an impressive catch. But no, if you really understand how difficult that of a catch that is, that is an insane level of body control needed as a wide receiver. His body control is elite. Like,
and that's
so good.
And that goes to his frame too. That because he can do that because he's like so lean and he's able to just do that. It's physics. I mean, if he was, let's say, if he was like AJ size, he won't be able to be as elusive as he is and as creative as he is in the route tree.
Absolutely.
It's just listen. I said it last year. People gave me shit. I'm gonna say it again. Devontae's the best wide receiver on this team. It's not even close.
You're talking about overall, all-around wide receiver, yes.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
I think the thing that AJ has is he's so dominant in the areas of his game that he
does.
He's
So
dominant. What he does like almost like he's the closest thing to T.O. right now that we have.
Yeah.
Like I'd say even more than DK because remember like DK's not a yak guy. T.O. was a yak guy. AJ can run after the catch because he's so physical and like his contact bounce is insane.
He's like a running back playing wide receiver.
And AJ's not sucker punching anyone like DK either.
Yeah, that whole thing is weird.
He's a big crybaby.
But I know it won't happen. But I'd love to have Marvin Harrison Jr. I'd love to have him.
Oh, yeah, you had to give it.
I'd love to have him.
We're going 115.
I'll tell you this.
I'll trade AJ. I'll trade a first and get Marvin Harrison Jr.
I'll tell you this: if we were to draft Marvin Harrison Jr., he'd be the best wide receiver on the team.
Probably. Probably.
He tears his ACL tomorrow. Would you draft him?
Who?
First round?
Marvin Harrison?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, not even a question.
Not without hesitation.
He's better than, like, as crazy as it sounds, he's better than his dad was in college.
At this rate,
right now he's better than his dad.
Right now he's better than his dad. So
it's crazy. So
he's so good.
I am not. I can't say for anything else. Okay.
Some of my coworkers are.
Yeah, I am not.
I had to switch my days because of it.
I think Brodo's going, but don't quote me on that. I think Rye is going.
Oh no.
Bill says, "Well, rephrase that. Would you rather have Hunt in place of any of our other backs?"
No.
Like, okay.
If a team wanted Kareem, he tried out for like 6 different teams in the last few months, and every single one of them was like, no.
Yeah.
Even the Saints said no.
I don't know.
No, I don't think the team said no. I think it's him.
The money wasn't right.
It's him. Yeah, it's him that is trying to decide which team he wants.
If it would be any of them, probably be over Gainwell. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Over Gainwell. Wow.
I'd say over not Swift. I'd say over Penny.
It's either Gainwell or Penny. I don't want to lose Boston because Boston no one can do what he can do.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Just practice squad him until the Giants game.
He's not going to last on the practice squad. Someone will pick him up.
Yeah, someone would absolutely pick up Boston
Scott. Him up in a second. The Giants will pick him up just so they don't have to deal with him anymore.
Exactly.
See? Puka Nakua.
It's Hakuna Matata.
Bill also says, before that, he says, ready, here comes all the negative comments after the statement, but I must admit, as much as I hate the Cowboys, it could finally be their year. No. Listen, this week, and this kind of ties into Don's comment too. He says, how much stock do we put in week 1? It all depends on the matchups. The Giants literally had two rookies playing at corner.
Yep.
I want to see what they do this week against the Jets. I don't know what Zach Wilson may stink up the joint, but I know that defense is going to come to play.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
Like no offense, like Bill, no offense, but like this is what happens every year. The Cowboys play a shitty Giants team. They put 30 to 40 on them, and everyone and their mother is like, "Oh my god, are they legit? Oh my god!
Oh, you know what?
It's been their year since 1996. Until you prove otherwise, I don't give a rat's ass what the Cowboys do. Because when the lights are bright, they fade.
And Chrome even says it perfectly right here. He's like, I'm with Stephen A. The Cowboys do this stuff every year. Great regular season team, but let's see what happens in the playoffs.
What can go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't want to say no disrespect because maybe a Cowboys fan will see the disrespect, but like objectively, if I take off the Eagles glasses, right? Like I said it for a long time. They don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. How many great regular seasons have they had? They've had some insanely talented.
12 Pro Bowlers one year, they went one and done.
Like one season, they were so good. They were looked at as arguably the best team in the whole league at one point. If I forget which season it was, but like
it may have been they were the number 1 seed one year with
they're the only number 1 seed in the last 20 years to not make a championship game.
It's so I just they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. They have to. It's been to the point where it doesn't matter how good they look in the regular season. They've got to show that they can go past the second round before we even consider doing anything. Like I just can't take anyone that has the Cowboys going past the second round. I can't take any prediction seriously because it just hasn't been the case. It hasn't been the case.
The Chiefs could go 0-4 in their next 4 games, and I still believe they'd go to the Super Bowl. You know why? Because they have a track record. It's the Arrowhead. They call it the Arrowhead Invitational in the AFC for a freaking reason. It's the same thing with the Patriots beforehand.
Personnel-wise,
Invitational. Why? Because every year they were in it.
Yeah. Personnel-wise with Dallas, I'll give you that. But were you asking where the weakness is, or you ask PY where the weakness is? It's coaching, always.
Yeah, coaching.
And I don't think the run defense is
it's just that game. What happened against the Giants? That almost was the equivalent. What happened with us in 2008. and we routed them 44-6. Everything that could go wrong in that game and the momentum just went wrong. Yeah. And when you can have a defense that's pin their ears back like that, it just rolls out of control. It rolls out of control.
173 yards passing. Like, that really scared you. Like, obviously, their defense showed up, which is great. But, like, Daniel Jones and his noodle arm do nothing for me.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Mike McCarthy.
He's a doc. It should be Doc McCarthy. That's what it should be. Doc McCarthy.
They are the Kirk Cousins of an NFL team.
Good Lord.
Wow. But all right, PY. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Chuck's put up the graphic.
Let's do this.
PY's 5 coming to you live. Birds of a Feather
Wrong
on Tuesday
one.
night.
Sorry, guys.
Wrong one. I don't get the right one. Oh, really? We're gonna block me. I'm
trying to get rid of it. I'm trying to get rid of it.
Right?
Sorry. All right, PY. So I'll fill it in as you go along. So you're doing top QBs from week 1. Am I correct?
I've already changed, Chuck. I've already changed the order since I sent it to you this morning.
Nice.
It's already happened. I'm just
so let's go in ascending order then. Who is your 5th?
Justin Herbert.
Okay.
It was an explosive game. You know, like, he showed exactly what he is. Like, he's a great quarterback. He can sling it. He's going to get the numbers. But like usual with him, the lights are bright. He can't get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that's going to be a continued trend with him this year, to where he looks the part, but can he play the part?
I don't know if it's as much him as it is the team around him, if that makes sense.
I think it's less the team and more his moronic head.
I don't even know how he made this list because they didn't do a lot of the damage in the air. They had almost 300 rushing yards on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it.
Well, I mean, he had like 100 rating and he threw like almost.
Hey, listen, this is your show.
Segment.
I'm not saying that.
Go ahead. 4.
Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
They doubted him. They disrespected him. They didn't take him seriously. And God bless you, Vikings, for sucking so hard that my man gets to whoop you on national television.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with him, because obviously when they signed him, they didn't think it was going to be anything. I didn't even think that he would start over them. I figured they would start Trask so that way they could just suck and get the USC kid.
Okay.
But he was slinging it. And also, Vikings, you suck. Why do you suck so bad? like how? Like, even Baker at the end of that game was like, oh, shit, I won?
The Jets won week 1, for Christ's sake.
The Browns,
Oh, my God. Don.
I need to see it.
It's trash. Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right.
Number 3.
Well, it's top 5, not bottom 5.
There it is.
If he was bottom 5, he would have made it.
There it is.
No, I wouldn't. I actually would have agreed with that too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Okay, so if we did hypothetical, if we did bottom 5, just real quick, it would obviously be Josh Allen. It would be who else was bad?
Ryan Tannehill.
Joe Burrow was bad.
Joe Burrow was bad.
Joe Burrow didn't even do enough for him to make my bottom 5, if we're being honest.
Daniel Jones. Jones.
Yeah. Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, and then
Josh
I guess Justin Fields. Yeah. Justin Fields would be 5. Yeah, would be in the top 5. Yeah. All right. So go ahead. Number 3. PY.
It's the Prince.
Who's the Prince?
The Prince who was chosen, who was promised.
Jalen Hurts.
No. Trevor Lawrence. You guys got to watch first things first. Come on now.
Nobody's watching FS1, bro.
It's the only show on FS1 you should be watching.
I'm not watching any show on FS1.
No, not at all.
No. Oh, man. He looked good. I'm sorry. He looked really good. Like, obviously,
That throw that he had to Calvin Ridley was one of the best throws.
That was
I've ever seen.
that was insane.
That is gonna be your duo, man. That
was insane.
Ridley had like a $130 in the TD. Like
he had two tubs. I thought
he had two.
I thought he had two.
I think he had two.
Oh my god!
No, did he have a 2-point conversion or something like that?
That might have been it. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think you're right. That might have been it.
Go ahead. PY was number 2.
I know what the top 2 is. I know.
Yes, you should. You know what? It's going to surprise you. Tua Tagovailoa. I said it wrong.
He celebrated saying it wrong.
I am. I believed in him.
How do you spell his
there's
name?
so many timestamps that we have to choose from today.
Hold on.
Big, how do you spell his name?
Is it Tagova?
All right.
Yeah.
Tagovailoa.
How's
Jesus Christ.
Tagovailoa.
And then he has a brother in college that's going to come to the NFL. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like seriously, what more could you ask for him in your debut game this season? Like,
what more if I ask? I'm going to ask you what Chrome was asking. How is he not number 1?
I had reasons.
As much support as you gave to it these past 3 or 4 months.
You know what? I think I know who your number 1 is. Go ahead, please.
Hold on.
Almost 500 yards of offense, 3 TDs, 110 rating, and you beat the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Like,
not who I was thinking.
How is he not number 1?
Number 1. So number 1. Can we all try to take a guess at who's number 1?
I'll give everyone one guess.
No. I don't want you to give
everyone.
I didn't want you to give a hint. I thought you were going to say hint. I was like, no, don't give us a hint.
Well, you said beat the Chargers, right?
Yeah. I said Tua beat the Chargers.
Ow.
Who's the number 1?
I was gonna say Jordan Love. That's what I was gonna say.
Hold on.
Well,
knowing
there's only one. There's only one true king in the North.
Hold on.
I'm gonna say Jordan
And
Love.
it's Jordan Love.
Oh wow! I knew it. He did look good. I will say he did look good.
Like
good.
Literally, like
over Tua.
Literally, everyone was discounting him. Like
good.
nobody, like everyone was just like writing this off. It's like, all right, cool, W for Justin Fields, easy win. It's gonna be a killer.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan Love was phenomenal. Like, I'm sorry,
he was really good
without Christian Watson too.
I wish Chrome was on right now because he'd be giving me.
He'd be so mad.
He'd be so mad at you.
Chrome can drink his prune juice and have his Ovaltine and his chicken soup, whatever he's got to do right now.
Oh my God! He has a good point. Like Purdy should be on this list.
No, he shouldn't. I don't think so.
Purdy looked good.
Did he? I don't think so. You know what? When you what? You have a top 5 list? You can put his ass on there. We'll make your own list with blackjacks and hookers and whatever. You know what? It's my list, and I have the king of the North, number 1. He slung it. He kicked ass. He proved that once again he is the Bears' daddy. He is him.
I hope PY's knees give out, but he's okay 10 days later.
Bro.
Unbelievable cancel.
Oh, what have we come to?
This is a great first.
He's the king of the North, Don. He's going to own your team too. He's going to be a franchise quarterback for the next 15 years, and then you're just going to be used to the sadness week in and week out, just like you were with Rodgers, and just like you were with Mr. Welfare Fraud.
I will say, Green Bay does have the best defense in the division. I will say that.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God.
Well, this is PY's 5, the first of the year. First
fine, of many. Can't we argue against it? Something.
I don't think that's the point. I mean, we all
know.
The
point. I'm sorry. You did enough arguing last week. You're lucky I'm letting you even talk.
Oh my God.
I mean, we all know. I think it goes without saying that we know we would probably have different names on this list. There are probably 3 names that we probably be consistent throughout. I mean, I may have Jared Goff on this list. Arguably, if you go just top 5, if you're not just looking at performances, but you're looking at stories, you can make a case for Zach Wilson to be on this list as well. So,
I'm not even. You guys know how I feel about Brock Purdy, but he absolutely would be on my list. Like,
yeah, he'd be on.
He looked really good.
I had Stafford at 6.
Yeah.
He just missed it. If he had like a touchdown, I probably would have threw him in there.
I mean, I probably would put Stafford over Baker, maybe over Herbert, because they at least won. I was not expecting the Rams to beat the Seahawks like that.
No.
And with Stafford,
never in a million years when I would have had the Bucs over the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, but the Bucs defense is actually the strength of the team now, and you have a defensive head coach, so they're going to make life difficult. I don't feel confident about that Monday Night Football game coming up a week through.
Eat your chicken soup. What are you doing?
That's it.
Yeah, you must not be very sick, sir. I'm just saying.
His hands.
Oh, guys, I got a little tickle in my throat.
Fingers work. His fingers work.
God.
All right, boys. So, I mean, put a button on this one. We're gonna go on to no huddle. Real quick before we jump into no huddle.
Problem with his Ferris Bueller sickness.
Adequate list.
Save Chrome. Save Chrome.
All right, you can't be a heel with no voice.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. That's great.
Don't give me a score. Don't give me anything like that. Just give me a win. Do we win or do we lose on Thursday?
Oh, we win.
Is
Kirk Cousins in prime time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kirk in prime time. Yeah.
Kirk in prime time.
I don't know why people had to get closer to he sat up. Is it in prime time?
He wanted to say it with emphasis.
I think we're across the board. I think it's going to be a win. Especially you got to win.
Justin Jefferson going to be cussing them out at halftime.
I mean, he'll still get his. He'll still get his. Don't get me wrong, but I think outside of Justin Jefferson, they really don't have anything else. You know what I mean? So
Jordan Addison.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's a rookie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Addison. Well, I wonder if they're gonna have. I wonder if we're gonna have Slay shadow Jefferson again.
Well, they should because
they should. Again,
yeah, I expect Jefferson to have a better game than he had in week 2 last year. But I also expect
I would hope not
to have a better game, especially after that performance we had last week. That's the thing. Like you get a win, but it's not a win that you're happy with. So you know you still have something to build on. So you have something there. So, but yeah, we do. We're pretty banged up, but I'm just looking at, like Chuck said earlier, the Vikings led the league in 1 point wins or 1 score games last year that went their favor. I think this year is a different side of that coin, and I think even for us, we were pretty healthy last year, and now it's not so much.
If he gets 3 sacks, I'll cry,
dude. Like when he pushed Andrews to the ground with one hand and then looked at him like, that's how you know you're getting old.
How many sacks do you think he would have had if they weren't going hurry up the whole game?
3, 4. He's a problem. He's
definitely they messed up letting us get him.
Yeah, he's definitely he's something that we probably haven't had on this team since a prime Fletcher Cox.
Yep. So I was thinking about
better than Fletcher already.
So like, what's a number for Carter this year that you'd be happy with? Like obviously, like who's the guy on the Aiden Hutchinson last year had 9.5 sacks and 3 interceptions. Like, well, obviously that like
if he has 8 sacks or something like that, maybe double digit. But obviously it's a different position because Aiden is rushing from the outside.
No, but I'm just like he was the top defensive player last year. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to give a number to Jalen Carter because at that position, you don't really look at stats.
His impact is beyond that.
Yeah. I'm going to say Cowboys fans really tried to sell themselves on Mozzie Smith.
Yeah, over Jalen Carter.
And that he was better than Jalen Carter. I watched tape. Don't even worry about it. I watched the tape. You're watching it backwards, dum-dums.
Freaking Mozzie Smith.
I'm watching. Don did ask me before we go. He has to give my top 5 running back performances this week. Brees Hall, Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey, Tyler Algier, and we'll go Josh Kelly.
Excuse me, where's your guy at? Why isn't he in the top 5?
He forgot the name. He legit forgot the name. The name was coming to me that it left. I saw it in his face.
Where's Bijan?
Bijan, he didn't. He'd be like next up, but like he didn't get enough touches for me to want. Like I have to give love to Kelly. Kelly was for how many yards? Like he's good, but like Bijan obviously I already said like he looks insane. He's gonna be on my top 5 if I were gonna do a top 5. So he's gonna be my top 5 every week. But I want to give a shout out to those are probably number 5. My number 1 would probably be Brees Hall. I was wrong about how good he would look right away. He looks
great. He
looks great already. So like
patience.
I really don't think he's even 100% yet. I will say like I am confident he's not 100% yet. For him to look that good already, that's awesome. He's going to be an absolute stud. He's going to be so good. So
the Jets offense, just hand off to Brees
Hall.
Yeah, just give it to Brees Hall. Like it's not hard. Yeah, the Jets, the Falcons, the Seahawks, just give it to your stud running backs and let them cook. Like just it's not that hard.
So fam, no huddle. If you're here watching with us and you already hit that like, hit that subscribe, you know what to do. You know the drill. We're into a real short no huddle because I think probably all of us want to get off of here and watch a certain show.
Yes, sir.
I'm already halfway through. I'm halfway through.
Really, for me, it's just watch Ahsoka episode 5. It's where no huddles where we talk about things that are not football related, not sports related, and generally it's really around nerd stuff. So if this isn't for you, we thank you for rocking with us, but you can see yourself out. We're not going to stop doing it. And for those who look forward to this, real quick, for me, it's to watch Ahsoka. Can't wait. You know, that's all I have for tonight. There's really nothing else going on. That's all I watched.
We've been catching up on movies because with Grayson at school. So we watched Super Mario a couple weeks ago. Excellent.
I gotta watch that.
Grayson actually was watching it and he loved Super Mario. He was like all into it, and like during the scenes where they were doing the go-karts, he was like going crazy. So he loves Super Mario. We watched what is it? We watched Barbie, obviously. Barbie was everything you guys had.
A masterpiece.
Barbie, it was amazing. Like one.
You're just giving Margot Robbie a blank check at this point.
It was amazing. But like even like Ryan Gosling did such an amazing job as Ken. Like so many actors there.
He stole the show. Like everyone knew that Margot Robbie was going to be great. But like I think everyone was caught off guard at how good he was.
He was, yeah. My favorite part of the movie was the battle scene between all the Kens.
I'm just Ken.
I was
win an Oscar.
I was telling Mary that, like, can you imagine how much fun that shooting that scene as being part of it would have been? Like, it probably was a blast doing that scene. Oh my god! Yeah. So yeah, saw that, and then what else did we watch? I forget what was the other movie we caught up on, but yeah.
TMNT again over on Sunday.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we saw Little Mermaid. We watched Little Mermaid. It was on Disney Plus.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely one of the better. There are not a lot of them, but it's definitely one of the better live action.
Like live. Okay.
Yeah, definitely one of the better live action adaptations. The beginning, I'd say the first act was slower, but then it picks off. It picks up. I mean, I like the way they did it really well.
It's he brings up the Kelsey doc that I think just released today. I haven't watched any of it yet.
I'm a grown man. I don't need to cry.
I did watch the episode on New Heights already. That shit was hilarious.
Which one? The one with
his wife was basically like wrap it up.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I gotta watch that episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Yeah. But
I don't. Yeah, and then he talks about the Kelsey doc. Like, I want to watch it, but then like I don't want to revisit the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't want to
that was the whole thing. Like you just know it's over. Like like I'd be shocked if he played one more year. Like if Jurgens is good again at guard, and maybe Kelsey's like maybe just one more year, maybe, but I just think it's done for him.
Yeah, like I think a lot of us already know, if they won last year, he would have been done. That would have been it.
I think so too. Yeah. And Chrome, yeah, great point.
He had an actual personality in this.
Yeah, they actually gave him and they gave Ariel more depth to her reason to want to be part of the other world.
You mean more than just I want more?
Like in the original was like, oh, I'm 16, I'm in love with a guy, with a human. That was like, but like this one, they actually gave her more.
I want to get out of here. This place sucks.
Don, I agree.
Was it really?
Yes, it's pretty good.
Really?
It's hard for me to watch because of stuff I already watched. I just hate rehashing stuff.
Yeah,
but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, but I don't know where Chuck's went. Hoping he'll be back soon because we're about to sign off. But fam, once again, brought to you by Alonzi Travel, specializing in the creative vacation of your dreams, Disney, Universal, wherever your heart calls to you. Let the talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation just for you. I think now I know what Andy says. Take the trip or some dumb shit he says, but it is true. Travel is one of the things. If you ask people where they hit the lottery, what they do, they always say, take care of these things and then travel and see the world, because there's so many different things out there. Yeah. And these 3 destinations, and I think you guys also specialize in other areas as well, but this is your specialty. If you ever want to go to Florida or any Disney theme park, or any Universal park, those are the 2 to help you out. Alonzi Travel, once again, that's Andy Ritz and Chucks himself for Chucks and Grayson, who just got up outside of schedule, PY, the Jawline, and Jake. This has been another episode of Birds of a Feather. Check out all the shows on A2D. Check out all our sponsors. They all bring something to the table. If they didn't, we definitely wouldn't rock with them. Every day, click like, share, subscribe. A2D on all platform, all social. You know where it's at. Click those thumbs ups. Follow. We'll be on podcast tomorrow, hopefully. And go Birds.